Welcome to a new episode of Coach Sarah Joy Talks. My special guest today is Alexandra at Life with Herpes, and we are going to be talking all about herpes, HSV1, HSV2, all the things that come with that. So welcome in, everyone. Here she is. All right, so let's go. Welcome in. Hi, everyone. Let's see. There
Yay.
she is.
Hi.
Hello, beautiful.
How are
Hi.
you?
I'm
Good.
great. I love that big heart on your chest. That's
I
super cute.
have a little spit up on it, but that's fine. I'm living I'm on brand.
Yeah. Yeah. For having a
I have
brand new baby, it's okay. You're good.
exactly.
Yeah. How is everything going with the new baby?
He's 3 months. So
So,
last time we spoke, I had him we spoke on Halloween and he was born November 5th. So it's gone fast. Oh, I love the
yeah.
hearts. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's so good to see everyone. Okay, so a lot of everyone here knows both of us, but just for the sake of any newbies or people on the replay, let's start with an intro of who you are and how you got started in the herpes community.
So first of all, I love your tulips.
Oh, thank you.
Back,
Thank
I
you.
love tulips. It's like it's season. I'm excited. Um, oh, someone just said Vega tulips. That's funny. Um,
Oh, that's my
oh,
assistant. I was going to let you know. Thank you for
there
pointing that out.
we go.
So that is my beautiful assistant. And so she's going to be dropping your website links and information. But so if anyone has any questions, go ahead and talk to Alexia in the comments, or you guys are also welcome to start dropping questions in the comment box below. So,
Don't even know where to start. Okay. Well, let me
right.
start talking and then you just rapid fire and we'll go. So,
Let's
I'm
go.
Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I never thought I would be saying like, "Oh, I'm founder of Life with Herpes." Like, you don't set out in life or to go to college to be like, "I'm going to start a herpes blog
Right.
and a herpes website and a herpes community." Obviously, nobody thinks they're going to get herpes. We don't set out and say, "Let me go find it." Um, the stigma attached to herpes is it's so heavy, it's so shattering, it's unfortunate, it's so paralyzing.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing with that is the majority of the population has herpes. So here we are paralyzing each other emotionally and quote unquote like ruining each other's lives. Yet we all
Everyone has
have it.
it.
Right.
Can I actually
Yeah.
I don't want to lose this moment. I have to say something to this. So, those of you that are new to me, yes, I'm a coach, but I'm also a psychic medium and I give spiritual healing sessions. So, just 2 days ago, and I'm so glad you started with this point. 2 days ago, I was giving a reading, and the whole point of the reading was she wanted some comfort and guidance on this new man that she's been dating for 3 or 4 months because he disclosed he has genital herpes. And it was so interesting. First of all, I told her, you have no idea how hard it is to just say that. So the fact that he said that to you and you're still talking to him, trust me, I bet he feels like a
Mm-hmm.
million bucks.
Mm-hmm.
But then check this out. She turned around and told me that she has oral herpes. And so it was interesting, the vibe of the way she was saying, like, oh, he has herpes, and I just, I don't know. And she's like, but I get breakouts all the time. And I'm like, you guys have the exact same thing. So why is his worse than yours? They're the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
it's because it's attached with sexual, transmission. It's attached to sexuality. It's attached to taboo. It's attached to the scarlet letter. It's attached to religion. It's attached to shame. It's attached to guilt. It's attached to, oh, you did something wrong and therefore you got this, opposed to, well, yeah, everyone has oral herpes and like I got it from my grandma or
Right.
whatever. Same thing with HPV. We make this big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an HPV expert or anything, but we make this big thing about HPV. Well, yes, there's types that are sexually transmitted, but there's other types that you get from holding hands, that you get from, whatever, just living life, going to a yoga class barefoot. Like
You
it's
can literally
yeah.
contract it from a toilet
Mm-hmm.
seat. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
and STDs and STIs, not just HPV, herpes, HSV1, HSV2, but chlamydia and gonorrhea are also on the rise too, but we're not stigmatizing the hell out of those people either.
And those scare me. So that's the interesting
Mm-hmm.
thing is like, oh, it's herpes. I don't want to get herpes. You want to get herpes. You want to get herpes. Oh, but it's okay to have chlamydia and go unnoticed for a year and then risk the fact of being infertile.
Right.
Got it.
And having cancer. Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah, HPV with cancer. Got it. Okay, that's cool. Got it. Got it. But herpes,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has, but you have the bad kind down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shame on you. You're disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You're gross. So we forgot to totally introduce yourself, but it's okay. I just want to dive in. Are you guys, hi everyone. Are you okay with this? I don't think we really need to do intros, so I want to just get deep real fast. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you for
let's,
being here from India at 2:34
yeah. Oh,
a.m. Okay, so there are so many things that we can touch on around this topic.
mm-hmm.
So many pain points, so many devastating pain points that we both hear consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So for the sake of time, I want to touch on what you feel like are the absolutely top pain points that we can support everyone with today.
So they go hand in hand. It's love. It's love and rejection, but it boils down to love. And you either are rejecting yourself or you are afraid to be rejected by someone. So it's the acceptance and it's the love. I always say, so people come to me, like I say millions of people have watched my videos. I have millions and millions of views and I've talked to thousands and thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest fear is, will I be accepted? Will somebody love me? Will I be okay? And we put these glass ceilings on ourselves that, well, I have herpes. And so that's why I'm not going to get married, or that's why I can't go become a firefighter, or that's why I'm not going to go to college, or that's why, I can't lose the weight, or that's why
I
whatever, whatever,
I
whatever,
have
whatever.
thyroid issues.
I have a thyroid issue. That's why I
Yeah.
can't that's why I really want to be an accountant. That's my passion, but I'm afraid if I'm an accountant, then I'll be stressed out so much during tax season and then I'll get outbreaks, right? Whatever your story is, and we all have our individual story. I have never, ever seen a situation where that story wasn't there before. So we just decided that herpes is the apex of your pity party, for lack of better words, for your story. Now, it's real to you. It's a real story. It's a real concern. It's a real fear. Um, but it was there before. So, oh, there's no good guys out there. Okay, so 3 months ago, before you got herpes, were all the guys lining up at your door? Were they great? Right? So it's
Mm,
your story that you tell yourself. I have herpes, therefore insert your insecurity. This is going to happen, or this can't happen, or this won't happen, or this shouldn't happen.
it magnifies insecurities and low self-worth and low
Mm-hmm.
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah. And so many of us, comes down to conditional love or unconditional love. So many of us were raised in a conditional loved situation. Like, you tell your kids, hey, if you get good grades, then we'll get to do this, right? Or, hey, well, I would love it if you would stop talking right now. Or, hey, I'd love it if you cleaned your room, or whatever. And so that sets the parameter for us growing up is conditional love. And so we are so scared that we have herpes that we're never going to truly, 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 truly be loved by someone we meet because we have this diagnosis. So whether we've had a heartbreak from a remote romantic situation where it was just that like literally heart in your back bleeding type of it's not heart in your back, but
A
dagger in your
betrayal.
back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Or you have felt so betrayed by caretakers, like whether it's your parents, whether it's a caretaker, whether it's someone that you're like, no, I'm supposed to have, this person's supposed to love me unconditionally and this person doesn't. Like I've talked to people that have been diagnosed that have been uninvited to Thanksgiving by
Wow.
their families. So that's what I mean. I see this, oh, and it's heartbreaking. So the biggest fear here is, will I be accepted? And the number one thing is you have to accept yourself. You can go on to dates and dates and dates and go out, but if you don't accept you don't accept your diagnosis, you don't love you with or without herpes, with or without the extra 15 pounds, with or without the accounting job, with or without the college degree, whatever it is, you don't love you, then no one is going to love you. You're only going to get, it's, Newton's third law. For every action, there's an opposite and an equal reaction.
Hmm.
You give off the I'm insecure, I don't love myself. Well, someone's going to pick up on that and go, I'm going to give that back to you.
Mm.
The number one way to overcome, so we're talking about herpes. You may be listening in like, oh, thank God I don't have herpes. Or you may be like, oh, I don't have it, but my sister does, or my best friend does, or wow. We all, like to call it our personal 9/11. We all have our own 9/11. Mine was the herpes diagnosis, right? For someone else, it may be a divorce. For someone else, it may be a loss of a pregnancy. For someone else, it may be the loss of a loss of a loved one or a parent when you were a kid. Some deep things. Mine was a herpes diagnosis. That was my 9/11. The number one way for me to overcome it, and it took years, and this is the secret sauce. Number one, practice forgiveness. So I say forgiveness to your partner, but it's forgiveness to yourself. It's really easy to forgive our partners if our partners did not know. So if our partner clearly like had no clue that he or she had herpes, then yeah, if you don't know, you don't know,
Hmm.
right? When our partner knows that there was an HSV diagnosis at some point in their life and they're aware that there is herpes, it makes it a little bit harder to forgive because you're like, well, you put me in harm's way. Why did you do this? That person is going through his or her own shit. That person is so insecure and so afraid that you are going to reject him. That person's been rejected so terribly that he or she cannot tell you. So he or she is going through their own personal 9/11, and this person is so scared. Or this person is under the influence of some sort of substance that is disconnected from their diagnosis. Like they're not there. Like, so that's another thing. Like you got to forgive that person too. They're having to numb their life so deeply that they can't tell you about an HSV diagnosis. So that's number one, forgive. Then you got to forgive yourself because people will say, a lot of women will say like, well, I knew going to the bar that night was a bad idea. I knew I shouldn't have met him. Like I felt it in my gut. Okay.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that because following your intuition is now a huge topic I'm going to be teaching
Mm-hmm.
on. So, but okay, I want to backtrack. Sometimes the word forgive and forgiveness, it feels impossible and it feels like a heavy word. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that if that word just gives you guys chills, like, ugh, like the jitters, let's use the word grace. Have some grace with yourself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can be our own worst enemy. And if you aren't at the point where you can forgive yourself, then how about you just try to have some grace with yourself
Yes.
and just be like, I'm on my way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my way to forgiveness. But right now, I'm just going to have a little bit of compassion and empathy to myself.
Forgiveness doesn't mean forget. Forgiveness doesn't mean it's okay, right? It doesn't mean it's okay.
Right.
It
It's
means,
not like you're letting it go.
yeah, it's
It's just dropping some of that stress.
when we don't forgive the person, we are literally Snow White and the Wicked Witch with the poison apple, except we're eating the apple ourselves. We're making it for Snow White, but we're eating it ourselves.
Mm.
You You have so much anger, so much hatred, so much disgust, so much, you're trying to give it to this person, but your body internalizes all of that. So you're literally eating your own poison apple.
So let me give you an example of what you're saying. Last year, I had a beautiful client who was in her early 40s hire me to work in my vaginal and viral restoration program on her consistent herpes breakouts, BV, and her gut health and thyroid. It was kind of everything we always
Makes
talk about, right?
sense. It all goes together.
Yeah, it does. And she was sabotaging everything because of exactly what you were saying. She was so disgusted, literally, with herself, but she wanted love so bad. And she'd pretty much decided, I'm never going to find love.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one that's going to be able to love me. So even though she was on dating apps and talking to men, she told me, I will sabotage it before they have a chance to get close to me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm too disgusted with myself for
Mm-hmm.
anyone else to be able to love me.
And she doesn't want the
Yeah.
rejection.
Yeah. Oh, terrified of the conversation, terrified
Mm-hmm.
of the rejection. And so, obviously, we worked on her health and we got everything under control, and it built her confidence. And she was able to start dating in the middle of our program together, unbeknownst to me. She just started it, and I was like, congratulations. And so, but like you said, it was like 8 years. For 8 years before she worked with me, this was going on. That's a long
Mm-hmm.
time to hate yourself and to
Mm-hmm.
sabotage your own life. She couldn't even show up at the office, or she was
Mm-hmm.
a realtor, so she said she couldn't even do her
Yeah,
open houses because
I
she
believe
was
it.
worried someone would, I don't know, she just had no confidence, no energy, didn't feel
My
good.
dog had to come in.
Oh, hi.
She gets upset when I'm in here and she's not invited. Okay.
Oh, I that's cute. She's like, excuse
Yeah, like
me.
you're in here without me.
Yeah.
But
So, and so I love that you're starting off with this. And I call this like your self-worth,
uh-huh.
like reclaiming your self-worth and I can totally understand what you're saying because if we didn't love ourselves enough before and then we get a diagnosis like this,
It's over. Game over.
yeah, you can sabotage
Absolutely.
yourself in every way possible.
Yeah. If we're not practicing forgiveness, because so and like you said, grace and trying to not understand why I have this. However, there is a reason why you have it. There's a big lesson for you to learn in this. That's what I truly believe. And you're going to learn it at some point, whether it's today or in 15 years. Um, and not try to fight it, but just again, practice that forgiveness. Um, and then here's the other one that is big, that is hard because you're like, oh, no, 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 no. But you need to take responsibility for getting it. It's so easy for us to say, well,
Mm,
he did this to me. He didn't tell me. He
hmm.
didn't use a condom, or vice versa. She didn't do that. Well, she knew. Well, she told me we were exclusive, but she was dating 5 other guys or girls or whatever. Um, Take responsibility. You don't just accidentally have sex. Like it doesn't accidentally happen. There's a lot that has to happen in order to have sex, in order to be intimate. You can accidentally kiss someone, right? Like that can accidentally happen at a bar or whatever. You can accidentally use the wrong lipstick or chapstick in your situation.
Yes.
Those things can accidentally happen. You don't accidentally have sex.
Yeah.
So you need to take responsibility for getting and owning your 50%, whether you didn't ask, because people go, well, no, of course I didn't ask to see an STD result or STD test. Like I didn't ask my partner to get tested. I didn't ask him to use a condom. I trusted him, right? I take that responsibility. I take the responsibility of drinking a bottle of champagne at Memorial Day party and saying, let's go have sex. That was my choice. He didn't make me drink the champagne. I did it, right? My choice. So I take responsibility for being where I was at that time. You have to remember that if you're diagnosed with herpes, you didn't go out and say, I'm going to go make a bad decision right now. You went out saying, I want to go to the bar because it sounds fun. It's going to make me happy. I drank a bottle of champagne because I was 27, 28 years old, and that's what I wanted to do on a Saturday for Memorial Day. It was going to make me happy, right? I wanted to be in a relationship with this guy because I thought it would make me happy. I didn't do it because I'm like, oh, this can be a bad decision. Let me go try it out. No. So take responsibility for getting yourself there. Now, you're responsible for 50%,
And then forgive yourself
right?
for it.
And then forgive yourself for it. Right.
Yeah.
But if we don't take responsibility, we're in that victim. And that doesn't get us anywhere either.
Yeah. I was like what I said on my podcast with you. It's really, these are some tough gut punches, guys. And I know that these are truth bombs, but this is where it does all begin, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and um
The
once
healing. The healing.
exactly, yeah, this is where the healing all begins. And once you can get past all of these emotions that literally destroy your immune system when you're living
Mm-hmm.
in anger, when you're living in victim, when you're living in just any of these negative emotions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they drive down your health. They
Mm-hmm.
literally destroy your adrenals. When we're living in fight or flight and we're stressed out all the time, that puts us in, we burn through our minerals 5 times faster, which if we start going into mineral deficiency, what symptoms is that going to bring on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got to be really careful. It does all start with your thoughts, your emotions, and your
Mm-hmm.
feelings. So I'm gonna
I have
go up.
some good comments.
I
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna scroll up. You guys also are also awesome. Thank you for everything you're saying. Let's see. In your opinion, what's the better medicine for suppressing the virus? Is it cyclovir or valcyclovir?
Are you asking me or Sarah, or do you want us each to go? Huh.
I mean, why don't you start? I'll say my
Okay.
opinion. You say your opinion.
So my opinion is I wouldn't take any antiviral unless that's where you're at. So this is just my opinion. This is my experience. Have I taken antivirals? Yes, I have. I believe that our bodies can heal ourselves. I believe that taking the antivirals is just a way to cover up what the real underlying issue is. If you're getting outbreaks, there's a reason why you're getting outbreaks, whether it's emotional, whether it's a food trigger, whether it's overgrowth, like your body's fighting another infection. So there's a reason why. So I would say that you should take the time to find out what really triggers outbreaks for you. Is it travel? Like that's always been a big one for me. Is it travel? Is it lack of sleep? Is it peanut butter? Is it, what is it? So that's something. Now, if you are going to take the antiviral, you're not a failure. Your body's not a failure. You're not a failure if you get an outbreak. It's you just trying to piece together what's going on. Um, I actually do think that if you are in a new relationship and you are dating someone new and it's in that infancy of the relationship, taking an antiviral is going to be the best way to prevent transmission to a partner. So if you don't want that extra pressure in a new relationship, it's kind of like taking birth control, like, or using a condom. Like every couple uses a condom in the beginning. You don't like not do that. It's just what you do. You just don't want the added pressure of an unwanted pregnancy. So same thing, like the beginning of a relationship, you just may not want that extra pressure of, am I going to transmit herpes? So I would say that's probably going to be the best thing. Now between Valtrex, valcyclovir, acyclovir, I like to describe it as grandma's chocolate chip cookies. So our grandma had a recipe, whatever it is for you. It could be lasagna, it could be whatever. Well, I'll just use chocolate chip
Mhm.
cookies. The way grandma makes chocolate chip cookies are the best. She may have given it to your mom and you're like, but mom, it doesn't taste like grandma's. She may have given it to you, like, it doesn't taste like grandma's. Valtrex is grandma's chocolate chip cookies. It's the original recipe. It's the original brand. It's the branded drug. Um, Valcyclovir is the generic, and acyclovir is like a division, an
Another
addendum.
gen of
Yeah,
generic,
generic.
basically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another generic.
Hmm.
Um, I've only taken valcyclovir. Other people have taken other ones. So I like to compare it to grandma's cookies. You're going to give it to your aunt to make the cookies. It's not going to taste like grandma's cookies. Okay. It's not going to taste like the ones she makes. Different drug companies all over the world get their ingredients from different locations all over the world. So you may be taking one and you're like, it just doesn't work. I'm not liking it. Try a different one. There's not one that's right or wrong. There's not one that's better or worse. It's which is the right one for you. So if it's not working, then ask your doctor to prescribe a different one, um, and see what works for you. Some of them you might have side effects, and the other one you may not. That was my long answer to
Yeah, no, it
antivirals.
was perfect. It was good.
Yeah.
And I love that you said the triggers because my client just this morning, we've been working, she contacted me for herpes breakouts in like a emergency situation, right? And so I quick brought her on just for some emergency coaching session, and she's in my Slack channel. So she messaged me this morning and said, "Oh my gosh, I um, just couldn't resist eating eggs and cheese yesterday. And my gosh, within an hour, I started being symptomatic again." She's like, is it really like that?" And I'm like,
Yes.
yes, honey, and so the top food triggers is eggs, dairy, and gluten. And then it goes down from there. And like you said, everyone does have their own triggers, especially it depends on the state of your nervous system. Like for
Huge.
me, yeah, huge. For me, when I was getting my 15 years of oral breakouts, one of the things that I learned, number one, because my immune system would drop before my period, I always got a breakout. So that right there is a sign that we need to tend to our immune system extra 7 days before we start bleeding, because that's your susceptibility window.
Mhm.
But the other thing that I noticed is I was in an abusive relationship that put me in fight or flight all the time. And when my ex-husband, came home from work, I was having a panic attack all the time. My nervous system was constantly dysregulated. And so, because of that, I was always having more breakouts. Because when you have the constant adrenal surges, those adrenal blends actually are fuel for viruses and make them come out. It's like giving them a shot of espresso. So regulating your nervous system, I've been doing meditation for the past 6 years. Not everyone likes that. You can just do 5 minute, breath work or meditations to calm your nervous system down, but that is massive, a massive trigger. Okay. Also getting sick because your immune system is down. That's another, we're called triggers, but they're more like windows, okay, opportunity windows. So I agree with her on know what is causing your breakouts and then get that under control.
And don't be hard on yourself. So, for example, trigger outbreaks. Oh, no worries. If peanuts trigger outbreaks for you, so peanut butter, but you're like, it's my birthday and my mom always makes a peanut butter cake for me. I can't have it. No, you can have it. Just be aware that like it's a choice that you're making.
Yeah,
Yes, I can have it, and maybe you take more lysine, or maybe that's the day you take the antiviral,
yeah,
or maybe you go, you know what? Okay, it's worth it. I'm gonna get an outbreak. It's worth the problem to
yeah.
me. This situation is more important than that. And again, not you're not a failure if you get an outbreak. Your body didn't fail you. You didn't fail yourself. You made a choice and decided to pick whatever. Like your body's going to react in the way that it's supposed to react based on the way that you treat it
Or what you put in it.
or what you put in it.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So as far as antivirals go, Um, if you're going to eat something that will cause a breakout, if you're, having a stressful moment, if you're about to start your period, if you're in these windows that could bring on a breakout, then I think supporting your body at that moment I don't have a problem with that. And, but I prefer Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm a root cause coach. And so a big part of what I do is empowering people away from the medical system And so obviously, I'm not saying don't follow your doctors, don't follow their guidance, but for me, I learned because I was on a cyclovir forever, 800 milligrams. I used to always be picking that bottle up, always be messaging my doctor. And then I learned about the lysine monolaurin. I learned about you can, take them separately, you can take them together. And I started switching to those, and I noticed that they worked just as well. And I liked them better because I felt like I could control the dosage better. And, that is the cleanest, most amazing brand. Natural Cure Labs. We both love it. We both use
Yep.
it. It's
There you go.
gluten-free, dairy-free, clean, no added fillers, no junk. It's a high quality. And so what I found is like what I was saying of these opportunity, like these windows. So if I knew my period was coming, then I would go take 1,000 milligrams of my lysine. And I would take a
Mhm.
thousand to 2,000 milligrams of my lysine for like 5 to 7 days. And then I would stop. And I felt like I would just use a high dose when I needed the extra support. Plus, for me, it was really nice not to always have to be bugging my doctor or going to the pharmacy. It just felt like extra chores, extra work in my life to have to maintain a prescription versus just ordering these things from a website myself. So
Mhm.
that's the way I look at it.
People are upset about your eggs.
Let me go down. Are you guys yelling about my
Hmm.
eggs?
Let me speak, and then because you're the expert on this while you're reading it, is you do you for your body. Like you may be okay with eggs. It may be like some people like peanuts are a huge trigger for most people with herpes, and but other people can eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every single day. Like I'm not saying that's a healthy thing, but it may not cause your outbreak. What Sarah's saying is eggs are huge for viruses. Viruses feed off of
Yeah.
eggs. She's going to get into that.
Yeah.
So, but you may realize like, oh, I can have eggs. I can go to brunch on Sundays and have eggs, and I'm fine. Or you might realize like, no, I can't even. I once I've taken it out, I can't even get near it. So it's going to be up to you and your body. Would be what I would say. But I know that Sarah has more to say on eggs.
Yeah. So I I was sick, severely sick for 10 years. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, Epstein-Barr, leaky gut. And every year since 2009, I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. And finally, in 2016, my brother was shot and killed, and it woke me up to this miserable life I was living. And I started pulling my power back and figuring out why I was so sick. And in this journey, you guys, I really started finding that the root of the majority of my symptoms was from viruses. Everything was viral, even my thyroid illness, Hashimoto's. I personally believe that it is a Epstein-Barr infection in your thyroid gland and or some sort of other herpes strain. Herpes does a lot of damage on our body. And there are specific foods that feed viruses. And the reason why this is because these viruses, they are created, grown, and developed in a lab. And the lab actually takes an egg. I have a video of it on my YouTube page. It's called All About Eggs, and I show this in the video. And the lab technician, and this is how they grow all viruses, even the seasonal flu shots. This is what they do. They take a virus, they take viral strains, and they inject them into an egg, and the viruses feed on the egg, and then they grow and they proliferate, and then they extract them out of the egg and do what they want with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, eggs are a common protein that viruses are used to feeding on and prefer to eat. So, when you eat eggs, the viruses are like, woo, we love this protein, and they eat it too. And so they consume that after you consume it, and it makes them stronger. And then they actually produce viral waste that goes out and creates neurological symptoms and many other symptoms in your body as well. So I found this out the hard way by I used to eat omelets every morning, you guys. I love my sunny side up eggs and my eggs on my avocado toast. And when I started to get my health back under control, I had to cut eggs out because I had such bad viral fatigue. I could barely stand. I was so tired I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. I was having panic attacks because my fatigue was so severe. And I cut out eggs and I started feeling better. So it's up to you. This is just my experience, and this is something that I encourage my clients to pause on, especially if they're super symptomatic. I'm like, let's just pause on it and find other things to eat right now. And like I said, my client was doing great. She hadn't had eggs for a week and says, "Dang, I had some eggs and I had an instant, like reaction." So you can try it for yourself. I'm not saying you have to listen to me, but you could pause on it for 1 or 2 weeks, 30
Mm-hmm.
days and see how you feel. And then, it's that kind of if you don't know your food triggers, do some experimentation with it. Cut out cheese, see how your breakouts are, see how you feel. Try gluten and try eggs and just play with it and see how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I don't eat eggs.
You
They hurt
don't.
my tummy. My
Mm.
body's like, nope, we're not. It's not. We're not doing it.
And I'm not surprised
Mm-hmm.
because honestly, a lot of people react. I've met so many people that feel like they want to throw up after
Mm-hmm.
eating eggs.
After you cut it out. And I think a lot of it has to do, well, I'm gonna get off track. I would say, because a lot of little kids have um, reaction, they're allergic to eggs.
Hmm.
And that's a whole other theory. But
Hmm.
kind of what you were talking about and how they're raised to create viruses. Like the eggs and the viruses are created in a lab together. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you
Mm-hmm.
if there was one more top. So besides for the needing to accept the situation, forgive themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and was there anything else that you wanted to point out that you see?
Yeah, I want to talk about rejection because
Let's do it.
that's what we're most afraid of, whether it's rejecting ourselves or rejecting being rejected from someone. And before I get there, I want to talk about what happens when we're diagnosed. We go through, I like to call it the Eeyore phase. We all know Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh. He walks around with the rain cloud over him. He is just depressed. We go through the Eeyore phase. For everyone's going to be different. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 10 years. Mine was 2 years. Um, and it's this phase of like, I have a rain cloud over me. When am I ever going to get through this? How am I going to get out of this? So
Mm.
our body goes into that fight or flight and you're in that. So when you're in that fight or flight, you either detach from having like your diagnosis. You're either like, I don't care. I'm just going to go out and F everybody and not tell them. Or you numb it with drugs and alcohol. And you're just like, I don't care. This is how I'm going to deal with it. You either go out and you're like, I want to fight. I'm literally going to fight this. Like you either go out and try to like find the cure or like Google it and know everything, or you literally want to fight the person. Like you want to like toilet paper their house. Like
Yeah.
you're a fighter, right?
Yeah.
Or you can't get out of bed. So
Mm.
it's that one where like you get up, you open your shades maybe, but you don't want to see the light. Like you get up, you go to work, you come home and that's it. You don't see your friends. You're not you. So those are kind of like the phases. Everyone has kind of their own they go through.
Mm.
And really what is triggering this is the fear of, am I going to be loved? Am I going to be accepted? And let's talk about the rejection part. So rejection's inevitable. We think like, oh, I have herpes now, I'm going to be rejected. Um, Rejection's inevitable. We are going to be rejected for things in life. It is unavoidable, right? Whether you didn't get invited to that birthday party in the 6th grade and you're still upset about it, or whether it was you didn't get the job of your choice, you didn't get into the university of your choice, whether you thought you were in love with this person and this person didn't love you back, whatever it is, it happens. It has nothing to do with herpes. We think we place the blame on herpes. We say, oh, well, it's because I have herpes. As a female, we go on a date and we're like already planning our wedding stationery because we had the best date ever. And then we're like, oh, but then the rejection's happening because I just got herpes. So here's why rejection happens. And this is across the board with or without herpes. So number one, the person's not emotionally mature to be in a relationship. Now, speaking about herpes, we can narrow that down even more. The person's not emotionally mature to talk about herpes, to talk about intimacy. It's like I use the example for ladies, like if you have a boyfriend that can't buy tampons for you, that's an example of someone who's not emotionally mature enough to be there. Like just the whole idea of
Yeah.
that topic, like
Yeah.
not just a period, but like sex, like it's like a taboo, scary, like ew, I can't, like I have to do it with the lights off, like that type of thing. It's silly. It's I can't have we're not going to talk about it. That thing. So that's emotionally immature. Second one is someone has such a deep rooted belief system that is opposite of yours. Now for us, it's going to be specific about an STD or specific about herpes. I use the example of a rabbi and a priest. They both believe in the same God. They both can have a conversation. They can agree. How do we want to talk about God? How do we want to get religion out? They can agree. But when it comes down to their root belief, one believes something and the other believes the other. And you're never going to convince the rabbi to become Catholic, and you're never going to convince the Catholic to become a rabbi. Like that's just not going to happen. So in those situations someone may be able to have a conversation with you about, yeah, herpes, I get it. Everyone has it. Not a big deal. Like you don't necessarily get it from having sex. You can get it from whatever, or a person betrayed you or you're cheated on, or it doesn't mean that you were living a deviant life, but I'm not going to get it. I can't, it's not going to be okay for me. I just can't get past it. So that's another example of why rejection happens. It's not you, it's that person's belief system, and that person doesn't want to change it. Back to the rabbi or the priest, those men, usually men, aren't going to change. They don't want to change. You can't convince them.
Walk
Third,
away.
walk
Yeah.
away.
Walk
Yeah,
away.
just walk away.
Yeah.
That again has nothing to do. This could be, we're talking about herpes, but this could be about something else in a relationship, right? That you're
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna
wow,
say if they're that closed-minded about having a basic sexual health conversation, then maybe you don't even want to be with them because you can't see eye to
other
eye on other
things.
things.
And it could be
Yeah.
lifestyle. Someone's like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to live in a city, and the other person's like, I want to live on a boat. That's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you both have two different ideas of how life is going to go. And the third and final one, and this is the one that hurts, and this is the one that stings, and this is the one that we say is herpes, is the person's not into you. Now we say, oh, well, it's because I have herpes. Well, if I didn't have herpes, we would have been dating. If I didn't have herpes, I would have had that wedding stationery all planned out in my mind. It's because I told him or her that I have herpes. The person doesn't like you enough. Like in dating, if a guy told me that like he had kids, I was like, peace out. I don't even want to get to know you. Now I ended up marrying a man with two kids, but if there's things I'm like, I don't like you enough
Well,
to take on your
that
baggage.
right there shows that we're willing to bend for the right
Totally.
person. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You're willing to look at a different situation. So that person, if they say it's because you have herpes, that person just wasn't into you. And it
Mm-hmm.
has
And they're
nothing,
just using it as an
it's a
excuse.
T-ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've broken up with guys like, oh, I'm gonna go like to college across country. Okay, bye. Like I'm not gonna, oh, it's because you're too far. Like it had
Yeah.
nothing to do with it, like I just didn't like you enough.
Yeah. And I mean, those are all such fantastic points. The maturity one is a huge one for me. Um, and it's not, because sexual health, sexual conversations, especially herpes conversations, is so freaking shameful to talk about. We aren't taught and we aren't encouraged to say, hey, psst, before you start messing around with someone, maybe ask them, hey, have you ever had a breakout on your mouth? Have you ever had a cold sore? Do you ever get canker sores in your mouth? Oh, you do? Tell me about that. How many have you had? How often are you
Mhm.
having them? This literally, you guys, I'm single and I'm like ish dating, but I can tell you that these are the things that I'm going to ask people one day, of like, do you get more oral breakouts? And for me, that is honestly super important to ask because that's oral sex transmission. Okay. And the majority
Mm-hmm.
of people that I've had discovery calls with, they are getting their breakouts through oral sex, not just sex. It's actually more oral.
Mm-hmm.
Virgins come
Mm-hmm.
to me. I get breakouts and I'm a virgin still from
Mm-hmm.
oral
Mm-hmm.
sex. So
I get it all the time.
yeah. And so we have to be able to have those mature conversations of like, and this is what I told my reading client the other day when she was like, well, he has, genital herpes and I have oral herpes. And I said, you know what? This is fantastic. Make a fun night of it. Go get your labs done. Go get both of you, go get full STD, STI panels. Go out to a really great restaurant and hand each other your labs and have a lab switch. And let's talk about it. And let's see and let's really get deep and make it fun and cool. And so it's not like a gross, weird conversation. It is what it is. These mature conversations, they just have to happen. And we have to teach our kids this now. We have to teach our grandkids this because this is what's going to stop this constant transmission. But yeah, if someone's not even mature enough to have this basic conversation, or if you don't even feel comfortable to say like, hey, I would really love for you to go get a full STD, STI panel, including HSV1 and HSV2 and Epstein-Barr before we start fooling around. And they're not willing or able
Can't
even to
do
do
it.
that, walk away.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with you, like you
It has
said.
nothing to do with you. I was just talking to someone the other day, like, and she goes, well, is it okay if I ask my partner to get tested even though I have herpes? And I'm like,
You
yes,
should.
you should. You don't want something else. And just because you have
Exactly.
herpes doesn't mean that you don't deserve to have your partner tested. Like we put ourselves, we're lower than the scum in a porta potty when we get herpes. Like that's literally what we think we are. And no, getting herpes should empower you to say, okay, I clearly wasn't listening. I clearly
Mm-hmm.
wasn't standing up for what I want. I clearly wasn't taking initiative. I clearly wasn't respecting myself or my boundaries. This is what I want and this is what I expect out of a relationship, and I'm going to go forward with this now. I'm going to
Or,
yeah.
or, some people, honestly, maybe they just lacked the education.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think a
Or
lot
you
of
think you're
people,
getting tested.
yeah, well, they just lack the education of like, I could contract something. Maybe I should be safe. I
You also
really do
never think
think,
it's going to happen to you because you never think the person that
yeah,
you like is going to have it.
true that. And just so everyone knows, the majority of men are carriers, almost. And I'm not blaming guys, but women, you have to have condoms on you. You cannot leave that up to the man. You have to have condoms on you and be safe and protect yourself. Double that shit up if you need to. I had one girl reach out to me who used condoms and it broke and she still
Yeah.
contracted it.
I saw someone in the comments saying, I didn't see exactly what you said, but you said you did everything right. And I want you to
Let me
take that
see.
off. Like again, forgiveness. Because it doesn't the virus doesn't care if you do it right or do it wrong. It doesn't, there's nothing like we again, this goes back to stigma. We assume that the people that have herpes are the people that were having one night stands and casual sex. That's what we assume, and that's what the stigma tells us. And that's not at all how we get it. Like the guy that I got herpes from, I waited 2 years before I had sex with him. 2 years.
That's a long ass time. Good for
A long
you.
time. Okay, so
Yeah.
that wasn't like promiscuity, right?
Hmm.
Um, that was I just assumed that of course of course he would have told me, right? Of course,
But
like why if you
maybe he
don't,
didn't even
yeah,
know,
if you don't know,
a
if
lot
you
of
don't know,
people
you don't
have
know.
so many dormant viruses, you guys. I just did a post on this yesterday on my X account because that's where I can talk shit. But I honestly, truly think I've done a lot of history on viruses, and I think viruses are being weaponized against us as a bioweapon,
Mm-hmm.
especially HSV1 and HSV2.
Obviously,
And so I mean, it couldn't be more apparent from COVID, and now look at the bird flu, okay? And so we have to be smart when it comes to protecting ourselves from viruses,
yeah. Well, that's the
all
oldest.
viruses.
I would say that's the oldest trick in the book. But the oldest trick in the book is prostitution and getting pregnant, and then the second oldest is the polio blanket. So yeah, of course, that's it makes sense.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Um, I was gonna say something. Oh, back to herpes, back to dating, back to
Mm.
rejection. And the older I've gotten, now you're applauding me for waiting 2 years to sleep with this guy. It's because I didn't like him. And then I gave in.
Oh,
That's my
shit.
point. Like that's you listen to your gut. Like I didn't like him enough. Like I
Mm.
was like, maybe we'll do. I don't know if we'll date. I don't know. It was just casual dating for 2 years. So that goes back to listen to your gut.
Follow your intuition
It wasn't.
always.
Yeah, it wasn't like my faith. It wasn't. It no. That was just. I didn't. Anyways, we can get off track on that one. But the older I get, the more I look at relationships. I am a mother, I am a wife, and the way I look at it, and I know you're a mother, and with dealing with sex, not just herpes, I'm specifically talking about herpes when I talk to you, but I would say, number one, if you are not prepared to have a child with this person, don't sleep with this person. Number one. Number two, take sex off the table. Not forever,
Hmm.
not just take it off. Go out, go have ice cream, go get a coffee, go for a walk on the beach. We're from San Diego, so that's, of course I say the beach, but not everyone has a beach. I realize that. Go for a walk on the beach, go to a yoga class, go to a movie, go over to his house and have him make you spaghetti and meatballs. Invite him over to your house and make your grandma's chocolate chip cookies, whatever it is. Just date. Take sex off the table. Is the minute we become intimate is when it all changes and we throw our whole mindset. Like as women, we fall in love the minute we have sex,
Yep.
and your idea is clouded on red flags.
Hmm.
So unless you're prepared to commit to this person, I would say take it off. Like if I were to be single again and date, I would take sex off for a long time
Yeah.
because there's look at all these things that come now. It's the most beautiful thing that you can share with someone.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean you want to be jeopardizing other things in your life.
Hmm. Yep. So I've actually been abstinent for almost 4 years.
Yep.
Yep. It's not worth it.
Not
And
worth
like
it.
you said, when we, women, not so much men, when we are intimate with a man, we create energetic cords and we energetically intertwine
Mm-hmm.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the beautiful angelic downloads that I got over this topic was that we also take on everything about them.
Mm-hmm.
We take on their personality, we take on like their traits, their behaviors, we also take on their wounding and their traumas. Women are like sponges. So not only taking sex off the table for just your sexual health to keep yourself safe and have, a good prosperous life with, not having to worry and stress about things. Um, it frees us up energetically as well to be fully in our power.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
so if you can do that, if you're not in a relationship, that would be best. And then you don't have to also worry about these conversations. Like the reason why I'm abstinent right now is because I wanted to just work on my confidence and my worth. And I don't want to date. I want to focus on me. So if you guys are struggling through these diagnoses and stuff, and you're like, well, I don't want to date anyways because I feel disgusting, pull that story back. And how about we just not date or have sex because we want to empower ourselves and up level
Mm-hmm.
and upgrade into a higher version of ourselves.
I had a girlfriend back when we were dating, and she said that that sounded back when we were in the age group of dating in our
Hmm.
20s. My girlfriend said it takes 90 days to get health insurance. So why would I want to sleep with someone before 90 days? Like your company is saying that I want to get to know you for 90 days. I
Hmm.
don't trust you for 90 days. After 90 days, I'm going to trust you enough to pay for your health insurance. So she's like, so why should I trust a guy enough within the first 90 days that I'm going to sleep with him? Like
Well, and vice versa. There's a lot of guys that
vice
have
girl, yeah, yeah,
there's
absolutely.
there's a lot of twisted women out there that are messing up
Right.
the guys too.
But it kind of sense, right? Like if a company's not going to trust
Absolutely.
you
You're
for
like,
90 days,
yeah.
why
You're like,
would I
they make
trust
you
them?
wait.
Yeah, they make you wait to get the benefits. Why not make someone else wait to get the benefit? And I'm not saying 90 days, it could, whatever that looks like for you, but take it off the table and just enjoy. Like you need to know somebody. And people can argue, oh, you don't get to know someone until you sleep with them. Well, yeah, you're going to know them in a different way. But the ability to connect, just as a friendship, yeah, the lust needs to be there, of course, but it'll still be there.
Well,
It'll still be there in 90 days. It'll
and
still be there in 2 years.
I love that. So Alexandra, new rule, guys. Alexandra's new rule, 90 days.
90 days.
And plus, that gives you the opportunity to find out if they're going to have the emotional maturity to be able to have these important conversations,
Yeah.
and it gives you I call it the discovery phase.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something's going to happen in 90 days and you're going to see, is this person here for me? Do I want to be there for that person?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I really want to show up if you're whatever it is? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
But please, like let's all have the courage to just have common sexual health talks, not because we're infected and we don't want to spread it, just because it's the right thing to
Hmm.
do for everyone involved,
Hmm.
you know? Okay, so are there any questions we need to get to? Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up. You guys are so awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. Okay, so thank you, Alexia. She's been dropping your
Love it.
website. You guys are amazing. Thank you for this chat. Oh, thank you. I refuse to date someone who doesn't have T1G. I can't take a chance of passing this to my partner. I'd never be able to forgive myself.
So I had to think about that. What's the type 1 genital? I'm like, what's T1G? So type 1 genital. So I'm going to say that that's something you need to work on. If you're saying I'd never forgive myself if I transmitted this to a partner. Um, Number one, your partner may, if it's type 1 herpes, like HSV1, your partner already has it, probably. You're not the first person, if your partner doesn't have it, you're not the first person exposing your partner to it. So we all think like, oh my gosh, no. Anyone that we're going to be intimate with, especially as we age, that person's already come in contact with it. You're not the first. And unless this person literally is a virgin and has had zero sexual activity or has been married since, 16 years old with one partner. Like, other than that, or like they're Amish or
Mhm.
something that
I
they
was gonna say
like,
Amish.
other than that,
Yeah.
your partner or future partner has been exposed to it, whether it was a kiss, whether it was oral sex, whether it was vaginal sex, whatever, your partner's already been exposed to it. So you're not the big bad wolf here showing up with it. Um, Saying that is a form of, I'm just going to be real blunt to the point. You saying I could never live with myself or I could never be with the person that doesn't have it. That right there shows an insecurity for you, that you are so afraid of transmitting. Like it goes back to conditional love. I'm so afraid this person won't love me anymore if I do wrong. And so just be aware of that. This is not right or wrong. I just want you to be aware of that's when you boil it down, that's really what you're saying is I'm afraid that I won't be loved for who I am if I accidentally transmit herpes. Um, and the next part about that is let that person make his or her own decision. My husband does not have herpes. We've been together 10 years. He does not have herpes. We do not use protection. I have HSV1 oral. I have HSV2 genital. We don't use protection. I kiss my husband every single day. We share drinks. We're intimate, all of that. He does not have herpes. He made the choice to be intimate with me. I didn't make the choice for him. I didn't say, well, no, you can't be with me because I have herpes. Let him decide or let her decide if this person's into you. Don't make that decision for that person. You're self-sabotaging it.
Yeah.
Again, that just goes back to the fear of rejection. So I that may be hard to hear, but I just for the sake of time and alive and things like that, like just be aware of it happening. And maybe now that you're aware, you can start to learn where it's coming from and start to unwind that.
That was good, Alexandra. Mic
Yeah.
drop, mic
Mic
drop.
drop.
Yeah. And I want to back that, like, we pass viruses in the womb. Okay. So like her mom could have given her something from her grandmother. And so, and we are all, if you've been in daycare or preschool or kindergarten, we're all exposed to these viruses, all the viruses, shingles, chickenpox, Epstein-Barr, HSV1, HFC. Like, I have a client that got breakouts on her face from her grandma kissing her on the cheek when she was 5. Like, we're all exposed to
Mhm.
these things. So I do agree with what Alexandra said of like, someone may not display symptoms. They may not have a super aggressive strain that is causing them significant breakouts, or whatever the reason is that they're not having, obvious breakouts, but that doesn't mean they don't have a virus dormant in their system and they just don't know it.
Yeah, you're
I
any
test
they
all
all
of my
everyone has a
clients.
virus.
This is why I said I think viruses are actual bioweapons being used against us, because one of the things that I focus on with my clients is I have them do viral panels and submit them to me. And everyone has at least, okay, at least 2 viruses in their body that they didn't know about. And it's usually one of the HSV strains and it's the Epstein-Barr strain. So, yeah, for you to put that much pressure on yourself of like, oh my gosh, if I gave this to them, I could never forgive myself. I would honestly be worried. I would be more worried of like, okay, I'm dealing with a viral infection and I want to be extra careful to protect myself so I don't continue to catch anything.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna want to know, like, can you get tested and show me what's going on there with you?
And you're going to push this person away, and this person's going to go to the next person who probably has herpes.
Hmm.
So, like, you're just
Harming
self-sabotaging it.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't harm
yeah,
yourself, honey. You're worthy. You're worthy.
totally worthy.
Yeah. Um, I don't know what that says. Come pastor, yes, on
Thank you.
for.
Yes, thank you for the jewels. Oh,
Oh,
come past.
yes.
Yeah, you're
You're
welcome.
you're welcome, guys. Okay. Any last words before we go?
I feel like I've dropped all my truth bombs.
Okay.
I would just say, for me right now, of whether or not you have herpes, for me, my 9/11 was herpes. And I am grateful that I got herpes because it forced me to change the projection of my life. I was on a track. I knew what I wanted, but I wasn't on that track. And getting herpes allowed me to get on that track. It was a really hard lesson. I feel like I was being thrown like Alexandra, like little pebbles, Alexandra, 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 and I wasn't listening. And so, boom, I got herpes, right? So if there's anything that you're just like hearing or you're listening or you're like, this is what I want, but I still keep doing it. Like, I want to be a wife, but I'm not acting like a wife. Well, then you better start acting like a wife, right? If you're like, I want to be healthy, but then you're binge drinking. Okay, then let's figure out the binge drinking. Why is that happening? So
Yeah.
my 9/11 was herpes. Everyone has their own 9/11.
Yeah.
Yours was your brother being murdered.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own thing, and it's your opportunity to say, okay, got it. Got it. I don't need another
Yep.
one. I
I
got
love
it.
that you call it the 9/11. I call it the silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
The silver lining. Every diagnosis, every illness, every symptom has a lesson attached to it. And I know a lot of people get pissed when they hear this, but once you've been through it and you've really sat with yourself and you've looked at it and you've talked to it, you will start to understand the lesson. And it's usually a pretty beautiful lesson that in the
Mm-hmm.
end you can say like, wow, I'm really grateful I went through that.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're like in the Eeyore stage you talked about,
Mm-hmm.
that's the last thing that someone wants to hear because they're just so depressed and down and they can't see past it. But me and Alexandra are both on the other side of years of suffering and dealing with these things, and we're both saying it in the same way. So if we're both having this experience and sharing it with you guys,
Mm-hmm.
then I encourage you to believe it and then start looking for it within yourself of what is this trying to teach you?
Yep.
So, well, thank you so much for coming. Can you let
Thanks for
everyone
having me.
know
Oh,
what
yeah.
offers you have for
So
them?
if you have herpes or if you have someone that, well, I'm saying if you have someone you love, I know someone you love has herpes. Um, Life with Herpes, so lifewithherpes.com, or you go to Instagram, Pinterest, wherever, YouTube, whatever your jam is for social media. You can find me there, and there are, I've been doing this since 2017, and I release probably 3 pieces of content a day. So there are
Mhm.
thousands of videos, not thousands of blogs, hundreds of blogs, thousands of videos. I have a lot of free information for you to just get started. The most important thing, though, I would say if you are diagnosed, would be to join our community. It's called the Secret Society. That's one thing I really wish I had when I was diagnosed. And it's the community to allow you to talk, to get your feelings out, to listen to others who are speaking, and then we all grow together and heal together. So I would say go there if that's where you're at.
Yes, her community is awesome, you guys. I'm in
I
there
love it.
too. And
Mm-hmm.
every now and then I pop in on the lives and I hear if you thought this was awesome, what she shared here, imagine being like basically in her little group container. She goes live twice a day. I don't know.
No,
You're a super
no,
woman.
twice a week.
Oh,
Twice a week, not twice a day.
well, in the community, you go live twice a day, don't you? Morning and night?
On Mondays, just twice a week.
Oh, on
Just
Mondays.
Monday morning,
Okay.
Monday night. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, so she goes live twice on Monday for everyone. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, your time zone will
Mm-hmm.
work. I love that. And she gives the best advice. And there's so many great people in there at different
Yep.
stages of herpes and dealing with things. And so it is a fantastic support group. And so how do they join your community through your website?
If you either go to the link in my bio, so go to Life with Herpes, the link in the bio, you can join the Secret Society, or you can go to lifewithherpes.com and you'll find where to start to join the
Yeah,
community. So either way,
perfect.
yeah, either way.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic place to go if you guys are new and you're looking for support. A lot of people will DM me directly in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I've shown up. We've done 3 other podcasts together. If you go to YouTube and you type in Life with Herpes, Coach Sarah Joy, you'll find all the other podcasts that we've done together. I've done one on thyroid illness, I've done one on vaginal health.
A lot.
And yeah, and Alexandra and I, we just really vibe, we get along, and it's interesting how our niches support each other. And
Right.
so we're probably going to be doing, more things to come in the future. So Dean says, how often do you guys do? This is our first live chat
Yeah,
on this platform, and so I'm glad you liked it. If you want to hear more, you can
we
go
can do more.
to YouTube and we can
We
do
can do
more.
more.
Yeah.
This is my first time doing anything since having my baby, and like I haven't even been in this room. So
Oh,
it's been like 3 months. I have look at all like my mail stacked up.
oh my
Like I haven't
goodness.
even been in here. I know.
Well, I mean, you're
Hey,
in baby zone.
I'm
I
in
get
baby
it.
mode. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And congratulations again, you guys. I absolutely love that Alexandra has been a prime example of how to navigate marriage and pregnancy and giving birth with,
With herpes.
herpes, with
Yeah.
herpes. And so if you have any questions, she is a fantastic resource. All right. I will let you get back to baby. Thank you guys all so
Bye
much for
everyone.
being here. I'll
Thank
talk to you
you.
soon. Thanks again,
Bye.
Alexandra.
Thanks. Anytime.
Bye.
Bye.